Hello, my name is Data. Welcome back. Today we're going to do some artwork and we will attempt to draw a galaxy or a space scene. And I'm just using starting out with a regular 2-inch brush. This is a pre-paired canvas. You can buy those at any art store. Or you can do this on any type of medium that you would like. I'm going to use this canvas today. The first thing we're going to do is to make this space scene. We're just going to cover the whole thing in a color black, so you don't have to worry about any neatness here, or if this is maybe your first time painting, you don't have to worry too much about being neat, staying inside the lines. We're just trying to cover up the entire background so that it has a bit of a space feeling. It's okay to go over the edges. I almost encourage that with this dark color. I'm just using a black. We'll put the colors come out with different manufacturers and different names. So the color choices for this will really be up to you, whatever you decide. But for the background, we definitely want to make it as dark as possible, because that's where we will line up our stars and maybe some of the planets that we'll put on there. Give it a nice space type of feel. So you can just go back and forth with your large size brush, whatever size you have. Just going to nice and easy. Can't make any mistakes here. Alright. I see I have a little bit of extra something. We're using acrylic paints. This will be I see I have something there. I can just use the tip of my brush to get it out. Like that. That looks pretty good. We have a very nice background here. If you see anything in it that you don't like, maybe some dust got in or one of your brushes is stuck in there, you can just easily pop that out. And there we go. I'm just going to let this dry for a little bit, clean up my brush. This is acrylic, so we can just use regular water, clean it up. We're just letting this dry for a little bit. I like to use the napkins to clean up the brushes here. Alright, we're going to let this dry for just a little bit, and then we're going to come back and start on the stars. Alright, that should just take a few minutes to dry. The next thing we're going to want to do is I'm going to paint a little bit of a background, maybe a nebula. You can choose your favorite colors. I'm going to take another 1-inch brush, just put a tiny bit on there, and I'm going to tap it into my palette so that the color is not thick whatsoever. And just any way you like, bring some of your favorite color into there. It's okay. It's okay if it blends. I'm going to tap my brush in there some more and get some of that color. This would possibly be maybe a nebula in the background, somewhere in a far distant galaxy. So okay, just blend it all in a little bit. See how it kind of gives it a little bit of depth. And I also like to tap. I'm going to choose another color. I'm going to tap just a little bit of purple in here. See if I can get that to kind of change colors. We'll just blend it in a little bit. That seems to give it a nice little bit of depth. Maybe there's some purple over here. It all stretches together. That's okay. Any way you like. You're just tapping these colors in. We're just doing a little blending. That's all. There you go. Now it looks like we have a bit of a star field. And I'm going to put that brush away for cleaning, and we're going to grab another brush. This is just a regular 3/8 inch brush. You can use anything that you have. And I'm going to tap it into some white paint. Glob on as much as you can. You're going to get a little messy at this point. So I'm going to take my angled brush, and from a bit of a distance away, I'm just going to spray the canvas. That'll start giving it some random star patterns. If you run out of paint on there, don't be afraid to just spray it on. You can get a little closer. It comes in all kinds of different shapes. Some are small, some are a bit larger. You can see how some of those stars are starting to pick up. They are in front of the galaxy that we made. It's okay if you get a little messy in here. I'm going to try to spray it down a bit. There you go. Now we've got a nice star pattern going. Everything is random in this particular painting. You don't have to worry about where things are going to go. Alright, now I'm going to grab a different brush, and this will be my 5/8 brush. A little bit different. I think I want to paint a moon in the foreground. So I'm just going to take my white, because our light source will be coming down from this way. So I'm just going to take a corner. I'm just going to start drawing in a nice moon. Doesn't have to be a perfect shape. It's okay if you go over the edge. I encourage that. Add as much on there as possible, and if the colors blend a little bit, that's okay. Gives it some appearance of depth. See that? It doesn't have to be perfect. Kind of blend it together. See, it's starting to look like a planet there with a darker side on the bottom. And just definitely just tap in a bunch of more lighter colors up here to give the appearance that it is more lit up on the top. We'll just slowly blend that in. Here you go. Gives it a bit of an atmosphere. Maybe put some down here. Maybe there's some clouds. There we go. I'm going to finish that off all the way down to the bottom. Alright. That is looking pretty good. I'm going to grab a little bit of yellow because it's possible that this planet has a little bit of an atmosphere, and it might just have to be in yellow. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect, as no atmosphere is perfect when you see it out there. We just want to give the illusion that it's there. Okay, things are setting up quite nicely here. The next thing I may want to do is add a few planets in the background. I think we should put one anywhere right here. I'm just going to use an orange. I'm just going to try to make a nice circle. That would be one of the planets. There we go. That one looks like it's not too far away. And then I'm going to grab a different brush, another small one. This is just considered the number 2. They didn't give the size. And I'm going to take it, I'm going to use a blue color. And somewhere over here, maybe in the foreground, I'm going to add another planet. This one might be a little bit larger. I'm going to use a little extra paint on there. Just fill that in. Make it a little bit larger. Get a nice circle. It's okay if it has a little bit of depth. I don't want it to look like 2 polka dots on there, so I'm going to make this particular one just a little bit larger, so it looks like maybe it's a little bit closer to us. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to grab another color, and we're going to put a little bit more white on here so that we can give it the illusion of the light coming down from that direction. Just going to grab a regular small brush, Just tap a little bit of white onto it. And our light source is coming down, so just tap a little bit of white on there. So it looks like that's where the light is hitting. You can see how it's a very, very light. It's almost hard to tell. But if your eye doesn't see it, that's not necessarily a bad thing. There we go. Alright, that is looking pretty good. I hope you guys can tell the light source that's coming down in that direction. And I'm going to grab another one of my finer brushes. They just call this a number 3. And I'm going to take a dab of yellow, just a little dab. I'm going to put it on there. And I'm going to put a ring around this one. So I'm going to start in the 1, 2, 3, 230 position. Just make a nice little loop around the front. And this is totally optional if that's something you'd want to do. But that just gives a little bit of a ring. And if you want, you can grab just a little bit more paint on your brush and touch up the front. So it really highlights that it's cutting across the front. There we go. That is looking pretty good. Now I'm going to take, still with a touch of that yellow on there, I'm going to go back into the white with this brush. I'm going to tap it so it's as dry as possible. I'm just going to make some lines here, just to give it a little bit of depth. So it looks like there's something else, maybe back there, maybe another galaxy or solar system. Maybe I'll do it up on top too. I'll just do this very lightly, just to give it a little bit of depth. And again, you can use any colors you want here. I might touch in a little bit of orange into that white. See how we're giving it a little bit of depth, like there's something else out there. And it's okay if you leave an area that doesn't have stars, because stars don't necessarily have to be everywhere. And wherever you think it might have more light in that particular system, you can just use a little more white colors to let things stand out. And I'm going to take a little bit of white and go back into the one that we previously did. Just give it a few little touches. Just a few little touches. We just blend it in together. Just blend it in, gently touching the canvas with the brush. Just blending it in together. And then you can press a little further to get that blending action. Now I'm pressing a little harder. There you go. You can see how there's almost more galaxies out there. Alright, I'm going to take a little bit more white. I'm just going to dab it here. It looks like that's the center of that system. Maybe it has a little bit of a cone shape to it, like it's alive. Alright, and I'm going to grab a few more things. We're going to fix up one of these planets. Hopefully it's had a little bit of time to dry. I think that this blue planet needs a little bit of something into it, so I'm going to take just the green. I'm going to take a green. I'm going to use the same brush. Put just a dab of green on there. Maybe just make some land masses. Maybe there's one there. One there. You can see how looks like maybe there's something growing there. Maybe there's some life or trees on some land. Just a little bit. And this is any color green you like. The brighter, maybe the better. You can always dab it in with a pinch of yellow to make it brighter. Just like that, just to give it a little bit of its own identity. And finally, if you want, we can take another clean brush, dab just a little bit of white, maybe give it some clouds, maybe it has some atmosphere. Just a few little hints, just a few little hints up there. And there you go. That looks pretty good. Alright, I'm going to continue on with that white brush. I'm going to go back to this moon that we did a while ago, the first thing. I'm going to throw more white into there. I'm just going to start putting white so it really looks like it's reflecting the sun. I'm going to leave the bottom part darker. It's more in the shade. It's okay if you add a lot of extra. That'll be just fine. There you go. A moon with some kind of atmosphere, a star-filled galaxies in the back. Alright, that is going to be today's lesson, today's practice art, I should say. Hopefully you guys enjoy making space themes or galaxies. So remember, you can just go out there, have some fun. This should be calming for you. It shouldn't be at all stressful. So the final thing that I like to do is I'm going to, since this entire painting is mostly a dark background, a star field, it's okay when it's all dry. You can just turn it to the side. And you see these edges, they're all white. They could throw off the vision if you don't get it framed, so it's okay to just cover the sides just like that. Just put some black on there, it's okay. And then when it's all dried up and you have the finished product, you won't have to worry about those outer edges distracting from the painting, and you can do that all the way around. Alright, good. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll do this again. We'll see you guys in the next video. I want you guys to have a great day. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.